Hi Collective, welcome to my channel. So this is going to be a timeless reading for whoever finds it. If you hear my kids, TVs, game systems in the background, then you do. This reading is definitely for anybody that's going through like some major changes, new beginnings, right? The Fool card. I know a lot of my energy is going to come out in this reading, as they always do. I just don't always like to give readings when there's a lot of like toxicities around, devil energies, things like that. But I'm going to do this reading, right? 8 of Cups. So somebody's feeling as though they're going to walk away. Taking that leap of faith at the beginning. Maybe you already did that. Okay. Maybe you're feeling called to. Let's see. Yeah, see, there's this 2 of Wands, right? But see, it's like there's definitely a choice. It has to do with letting go of some sort of resources. Somebody could be shut out, feeling left out in the cold there. But see how somebody's fully let go of a path they were on before? Somebody was holding on to some sort of path, or there was an option. You know, I realized this yesterday. I miss this. Somebody's missing something. Somebody is firmly holding on to security and structure. And they're looking off into the world. But what they don't realize is that this is holding them back. See how that wand that they're holding on to is bolted. There's something that's holding you back. This path that you're on, or that you've been on, is making you feel trapped. It's went as far as it could go. What you're holding on to is something that, yeah, it's making you have security and structure perhaps, but it's like the garden and the gate I seen in my third eye. The garden and the gate card from the energy oracle. You've made like a comfortable situation for yourself, and that's kind of why you're holding on to this, because it's familiar. See, there's this new path that's going to level you up because it's further up than this wand here. But it's not within reach. Like, you're not going to be able to... I mean, it's not that far from this one, but you have to let go of this wand to go over here. So see, there's a loss here. 5 of Pentacles. Somebody's got to let go of something. Could be surrounding a King of Wands. We see King of Wands, and here's that Queen of Swords again. That energy where it looks like she's dropping the sword. And I was talking about this yesterday, like the mic drop. Somebody is definitely dropping something to go towards their happiness. 10 of Cups. Let's see. Two of Cups. So somebody is going after true love. They're going after being in love with themselves too, because that's how you obtain that. Maybe that's why somebody's dropping the sword. They're like, you know what? I deserve better than you. I'd rather be alone and on my own than with you. That's what I'm feeling. Yeah, there's betrayal here and deception with the 7 of Swords. Ooh, see? 10-10. You could be seeing 10-10. That's confirmation for you. If you haven't, this is your reading. If you keep seeing 10-10, it's because they're trying to show you a painful cycle is trying to close out for abundance come in. For a lot of you, it's like you have all this abundance available to you, but you're not going to receive it, so you let go of this. Because for some of you, it's the 7 of Swords energy that's blocking you from it. Because somebody's wearing a false mask and somebody wants your money. It's like somebody knows that you're destined for greatness, that you're destined for maybe to build a legacy. Somebody could be stopping you from building a legacy because this talks about that. 10 of Pentacles is family wealth, generational wealth. This is like money for your kids and your kids' kids. But it's like you can't get that when you're surrounded by the devil, right? Devil energy. See that 5 of Wands, all that conflict? Somebody's trying to create a lot of conflict. And you know, the hardest thing for me to realize is that a lot of times it's not the person itself. It's the spirits that are attached to that person. for some of you, the person that you're thinking about or questioning, or whoever the Seven of Swords is, because this can represent fear too. It could be you holding yourself back. But for some of you, it's like there's a certain spirit, right? And it could be entities too. A lot of us are generational curse breakers here, right? So for a lot of you, like the person that you came into contact with, or that this energy is, if it's an energy around you, they've had some sort of entity attached to their family bloodline, maybe, or maybe attached to them, that is constantly kind of taking over, causing them to cause conflict and chaos and kind of operate in a lower vibrational energy. See, and you're not. So it's like they're kind of like energy harvesting from you. They're kind of living life for you. They're kind of taking energy from you. You're like their reason for living. A sign here is if somebody's like, I can't live without you. I need you. Like, if you leave me, I'll be devastated. Like, it's like that. It's like you'll know if it's an unhealthy. I'm kicking up this strong like obsession. Like if somebody's like really, really obsessed with you, that can definitely be a sign that it's an unhealthy attachment. And a lot of times it's the entity that's attached to them that makes them feel as though they're not good enough, puts them in this lower vibrational energy. And that's how you know if it's like an entity or a demon or something like that that's causing somebody to be in a low vibration. Especially like drugs and alcohol and addictions and things like that, because those entities, they like to, you know, lead those people towards those things, and that's what keeps them trapped and stuck, Eight of Swords energy, and bound, that they can't escape. Because if somebody got empowered enough to let go of, you know, that entity, then it has to find another host, right? And that's what's so challenging about these generational curse breakers, is because a lot of these entities are within the families, and they can jump around from person to person. And it's like, even if that person gets that out and they're like on the mend or whatever, or doing well, but then they go around this family member or whatever, demon can easily get right back in. It like body snatches. It like jumps host to host to host. So the only way to really clear out these entities is to come across these generational curse breakers. So for some of you, that's you. Some of you, your pure heart, your love, your light, it's battling these demons. But for some of you, like, you can only do so much. And for some of you, you have to pull back your energy and walk away to be able to eradicate that demon, to really change this person. So yeah, so for a lot of you, the hardest thing for me to accept, like me with my challenging twin flame dynamic, is it's like, I'm like, how do I leave my twin behind? How do I leave my divine behind? You know, but when you realize that the only way that you're really going to in fact save them is to let them go, to leave them behind, because that entity is going to, it's like coming after you. It's like going through them to get to you, to get to your light, right? So you're kind of enabling it in a way if you're allowing this to happen. There is victory and success here. You're never going to get this. For a lot of you, you needed to come into contact with this entity to be able to battle it, to be able to demon. Because for some of you, it's like, even though this person may be embodying this demon and this devil, and maybe they got together with you because they were under control of this demon, and those are often when you get in those narcissistic paradigms, and a lot of times it's where, you know, they like covert narcissism getting. It's like, for a lot of you, it's like these people got together with you because they seen you had something, and they had the intent on using you for those things, right? Or for some of you, like, they fell in love with you. So you're healing your love, your light. You're doing so much more than you could have ever known. And it's like, and if you didn't get to that point, that wouldn't have been enough to break this demon and this curse. That's why for a lot of like twins, like, you do have to disconnect, separate. Because that can in fact put them down a spiritual healing journey. But it's like, you got to let go of these certain things, because like I said, even though this person may, you know, do so well and get away from drugs and alcohol and raise their vibration, but if they keep going around toxic family members and those entities and keep getting back in them, that's why for a lot of divines, like, they have to let go of these toxic families. They have to understand that the reason why this entity is embodying them is from their family, from their bloodlines, right? They got to stand up for themselves, and that's often what it takes, is having that confidence to eradicate these demons, these devils, right? And not everybody's meant to be a generational curse breaker, but often if you are, your twin as well, and both of you have demonic entities within both of your bloodlines, and a lot of times one side will see that and the other won't. So yeah, signs are C and 1010. So that's what I mean. They're holding you back. This was meant to happen. You were meant to battle this demon. You were meant to, but for you to have victory and success, you've got to cut off this entity from having attachments to you. Empress. Talking to an Empress here. Yep. A very high... a very, very awakened one. High Priestess here. You're a spiritual teacher. Definitely healer. But yeah, you're being called to walk away, and you're going to have true love. You're going to have some sort of union coming together with true love, with real love, right? For some of you, maybe this is your twin, because there are a lot of false twins. This entity can be so strong too. It can actually shapeshift. It can actually like get into your real twin, get the downloads, get the, how do I not explain it? Like, it's like this entity, it's like, you know, entities work for the devil, right? So it's like they can almost like scry, project. And I did a reading on this. I forget where I even put it in my community post where I shared a projection. It's like they can actually enter like your twin's mind, right? And like download information about like their characteristics, their likes, their things. And then they can come back and they can project. So for some of you, it's like you could have like, when you're with this person, you could be like, oh my God, like this has got to be my twin, because they connect with me on such a level. They know so much of me, all of this. They're mirroring me. Oh my gosh. Master manipulator. This is, I'm getting very strongly for some of you. It's like your person or whoever this is, like they're not even aware that this is happening. This entity is so good. For some of you, they're aware. They had a life of a lot of trauma, a lot of darkness. Okay, and they just, the only way that they could seem to get love and things was by manipulation and control. A lot of them don't even realize that they're doing it because it's all they know, especially if they had a narcissistic parent that kind of showed them the ropes. And especially if there was enablers that nobody corrected this behavior and let them get away with it. A big sign too is having extreme emotions, extreme highs and lows, and like I said, obsessions. So yeah, very non-committal is a big sign too. Flashy, in and out, player energy. They like attention from anywhere they can get it. It's like they're just like attention seekers, energy seekers. They could be very, very charming. They're very good at telling you what you want to like. Very well mannered, things like that. So I'm just getting like covert narcissist. Manipulator, master manipulator. They're really, really good at this. I'm getting fake spiritualists too. It's like they could come off as being very, very like religious and things like that, or brought up in that upbringing, but they don't practice what they know or what they may tell you. It's like they could like quote scriptures and things like that, but do they follow them? Do they honor them? Those are signs too. You can notice a lot. So I getting that there's a lot being realized here. Okay, there are a lot of illusions. Delusions are being brought to light. 9 of Pentacles energy, Queen of Cups. Yeah, there's definitely this energy of somebody heightened psychic abilities. They're starting to see these gifts. They're starting to heal from this. They know that they deserve fairness. Yeah, and that was a big thing for a lot of Empresses. Like I said, for a lot of you, this is your twin that you've been battling and you've been with. There's a lot of masculines that are starting to awaken and starting to ascend, but they have to be able to disconnect from these entities and let go of whatever attachments they have. And like I said, a big part of them is they have to walk away from toxic family members, friends, a lot of, you know, clarity, communication. They got to have that confidence. And a lot of them, maybe they've always had a support of family and things like that. And maybe they're challenging to be independent, confident, but that's what it takes for this mission. That's why it's often called twin flame mission, twin flame journey. They're not easy. They're the most challenging. Like, I'll tell you right now, my twin's been my most challenging relationship ever. You know, with battling, you know, with just because there's so much love and passion and intensity. And it's like, you don't want to leave your twin behind. You'll put up with so much. But then it's like a mirror. You often see yourself in them. And it's hard to change those things and accept those things, especially if you're dealing with ego issues, because you have to accept, like, oh my gosh, I'm just like that. Like, here's a for instance, like, one of my biggest thing was that, like, I didn't notice for the longest time is, like, I always care about my appearance. I don't care what other people think. And I'm very bold on that. Like, I know I've always been, I do what I want. I do my makeup wild if I want. I'll never change it for anybody. That's why if I ever have somebody I've been with that says things like, you shouldn't do your makeup like that, or you shouldn't wear that, or whatever, I'm like, nope, you're definitely not for me. You know, because you should never want to change somebody. But so I've always been very confident. And like my twin, I was like, you know, like he never tells me that I should change or not do my makeup or whatever. So, and it's like anytime we go anywhere, for me to feel good, like I always make sure I like what I'm wearing so I'm comfortable and it go pleases in my makeup. And that's just me. I've always been like that, right? Well, the same thing like with him is, it was like, I know he cared a lot about his clothes and his appearance and stuff too, but it's like he got so comfortable with me that he didn't care about, you know, his hair. He'll let his hair grow out. He didn't care about all that stuff. But then all of a sudden, when he started a new job, all of a sudden he was caring a lot about his appearance, right? And he was spending a lot more time in the mirror and a lot of those things. And I was like, oh my gosh, like he probably has got like somebody new at work and da-da-da-da-da, you know, and I started to get back into those insecurities and stuff. You know, and then I had to realize that I started to realize that he was doing it often before we'd go out together in places like that. And one day it just hit me. I'm like, oh my God, I forgot. He's my twin. He's just like me. He cares about his appearance for him, not for others. And it was, I was in that kind of that, whatever you want to call it, insecurities, like those triggered back for me. And I realized that it was old patterning, wounding, or maybe the devil getting in my head, right? Because then I was getting like jealous of, you know, him caring about his appearance for other people. And it's like, really, if I trusted him, things like that, it shouldn't matter, right? So yeah, I was stuck in that for a little bit, you know, and I was like, yeah, that's the same thing, just like he cares so much, you know. And then I started to think about how he must feel, how I always have to do my makeup and things like that. And then I realized, I'm like, yeah, so it probably makes him feel a little bit insecure when I'm like, wait, I can't go anywhere, I have to do my makeup first and all of that stuff. So it's little things like that, like sometimes you don't even realize it, but if you really step back and you look at what is bothering you, you can in fact see the same things like bothering your twin. You see what I mean? So your twin's like your biggest like task mission. For a lot of you too, you need to understand that your twin, actually, a lot of times they are preparing you for your greatest love. Ace of Cups, because it's either, if you and your twin can both heal these woundings and these traumas, which they're a lot, so it takes a lot. I mean, you can be together with your twin but not be in union. There's a difference. So for a lot of you, it's like, it's a constant. You got to constantly work with each other, right? So it's a constant thing, but it's like, you guys can do this. Yes, you're always going to have that connection and that intense passion and chemistry. But for a lot of you, like, you'll realize even having all of that, to have all the fight and the arguing and the inconsistencies, and if somebody's really, really wanting to serve a mission and their twin's holding them back, then all that passion, that intensity, and the sex isn't worth it. Right? But it's like, if you can work together, care for one another, and not be in these empath narcissist paradigms, which a lot of those are the twins, if you can heal all of those things, then yes, you have an amazing, you know, beautiful life and a beautiful love story. It's definitely like a lot of empresses, you straight up, it is like the Cinderella story. I'm not even gonna lie. A lot of you, it's like, you know, you had the evil stepmother, or your mother was just very, very broken, right? But you were always put down. Your worth was never there, which is why you're cut down. Because, you know, being on the Twin Flame Collective, you're chosen. And you know what? The devil knew who you were before you were even born, and he sent people in after you the moment you were born. 1919, as they say that. So for a lot of you, like, your own mother was flipped against you, your father, your siblings. That's why you often, the twins are chosen often feel as though they are you know, outcasts, black sheeps. You know, that's why you may have found that you self-isolate a lot. Maybe that's why you stay away from people, because maybe you've noticed that everybody, it's like the devil seems to get through in and out everybody. It's like they turn your friends against you, your family against you, people you meet, your thing. It's so you might have spent a lot of time in isolation, a lot of time, you know, these journeys, but, you know, and for a lot of you, it was God's protection too. A lot of you, God protected you because he knew there was going to be a time when he was going to raise his chosen. So, yeah, that's what I had for you guys. You know, you got to decide. So for others of you, it's like if you new twin, you cannot, for some of you, like you got to pull back from your twin. You got to have that self-confidence, not giving your power away. If they're holding you back, for some of you, you got to walk away. For a lot of you, like you have a higher divine lover. Like for some of you, you have a counterpart that's going to be like your everything, right? But it's not your twin, because for some of you, it was just, you're not meant for a union. You were just meant as catalysts for each other's healing, growth, and to heal out and battle these demons. And for those of you that can't come into union, like there was always a contingency plan, a backup plan. So for a lot of you, it's like, you know, if you've been with your twin for a while and you guys can't balance each other out or whatever, you have, a lot of you, you have a higher vibrational soulmate that's waiting for you, right? It's time for these divine missions to be carried out. Contingency plans are being executed. Look at this. It's fate. Your fated life is what was destined, or your fated life is what you're supposed to be living, right? It's like what was written in the stars, okay? Your destined life is the life that you're living due to your choices. So it's like if you choose to stay with your twin, but they're not in the position to heal, or they're not going to heal, especially if you keep enabling them by letting them get away with their addictions or toxicities, if you're letting them take advantage of you, if you're letting them walk all over you and not learn, you're going to stay stuck in that paradigm. And that might be why you're seeing 10 10 10 10 10 10. It's up to you guys. Do you want to level up? Do you want a higher vibrational life? Do you want to unlock your legacy? Do you want to be part of the 144 that rise? Because the ones that are not going to rise are the ones that are staying in these paradigms. So true love is here, divine love, but it takes finding that love from within, loving yourself, knowing you are enough. But for a lot of you, like I said, you have a higher vibrational lover. Or maybe you just pulling away and you be in this self-love and this confidence in yourself can heal your twin. But like I said, I like to put it both ways, because I don't want to say don't lose hope in your twin. For some of you, you just got to pull away and be confident, right? Maybe that's how you're all of a sudden it's going to turn in this true love, or you know, so just be positive and know you've done just so much work, even though it seems so challenging. But like I said, a lot of you, it's like your twin, you need to know you're going to heal them in the long run. And for some of you, like your twin may even have a higher vibrational lover that's going to come in too once they heal. But you guys were just simply meant to be catalysts for each other's change. And to prepare you for the best kind of love. All right, guys, that's what I have for you. So I was just going to do this general. I was thinking this was the reading I was going to do this morning, but then my kids got up and I'm like, I can't do all of that. See, sometimes it's interesting as I just started recording and everything that I was planning to do for my reading this morning came out anyways. So now I'll flip this one too, being, well, no, I was told to label it the way I intended, but it turned out to be the twin reading I was going to do anyway. Alright guys, well, love and light to all of you. Definitely like, share, subscribe. If you were guided to me, you were for a reason. Know that. If you're not subscribed, definitely subscribe. And for all my new subscribers, thank you guys so much for helping my channel grow. I'm starting to use my community posts now more, so you should definitely take a look. If you want to know more about me too, you can check out my description box. I've got a donation link available too through Cash App if you would like to help with the laws of attraction and give and take. And if you just want to like the video or comment your story, that's all very beautiful too. Love and light to all of you guys. Bye.